G'day there guys, it's Connor here again, and welcome back to some more stories from Reddit. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and also the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Alrighty, let's get right into it. Alrighty guys, we're on True Off My Chest. This one was written by user Wall Curious, and it's titled, My stepdaughter died 4 weeks ago, and I caught my husband and his ex-wife in our bed. My stepdaughter Becca, 14, died 4 weeks ago. I've been in her life since she was 7 years old. We were extremely close. My husband, Derek, 40, and his ex-wife, Sam, 38, and I, 35, get along very well. There has never been an issue in the 7 years that I've been with Derek. Sam has always been kind to me. She didn't even care that Becca called me Mum too. Right after Becca's passing, Sam had so much anxiety and depression that she was unable to be by herself. She has no family besides us, so we invited her to stay with us. Sam hardly leaves the house. She mostly just sleeps in Becca's room, which is completely understandable. I always tell her that I'm here if she needs me, and that I want her to take her time with grieving, and that there's no pressure to go back to her home. Today I needed to run some errands, so I asked Sam if she'd like to join me to get out of the house a little bit, but she declined and said she'd rather just stay at the house and sleep. I told Derek that I was leaving and that I would be back in 2-ish hours. He works from home. I also told him to check on Sam every once in a while and maybe try getting her to eat something. After stopping at the post office, I realized I forgot my library book that I needed to return, so I went back home to get it. As soon as I walked in the door, I heard moaning coming from mine and Derek's bedroom. I immediately knew what was happening, and my heart completely broke in that moment. I wasn't completely sure what to do, but I ended up deciding to confront them, so I walked to the bedroom and opened the door and began yelling at them both. Sam started having an anxiety attack and ran to the bathroom while Derek kept apologizing profusely. I asked him what the hell was happening. He told me that he made himself and Sam some lunch, and they began talking about Becca and shared some memories, and then Sam ended up kissing him and he didn't pull back, and that it ended with them in our bed. They're begging me to understand that it was just grief that caused them to become intimate, and that they both made a mistake. I don't know what to do. I love this man, and I love Sam. I'm heartbroken that they did this to me and put me in this position. I feel so stuck. Geez, in my opinion, grieving or not, this is not the way to go about it. Let's check out the comments. I understand that you both love Sam and Derek dearly, but you also need to remember to love yourself. Your husband cheated on you, and Sam took advantage of your kindness and generosity. I understand that you're both grieving, so are you, but this is wrong given how you're still in the picture. You are Derek's wife, and you are also very close to Becca, whom she also sees you as a mother figure. Sam should have respected that, and Derek should have respected you. This is harsh, but if this isn't the first time you left them both home alone, then this might not be the first time they've been sleeping together since Sam moved in. I would highly recommend an STD test and maybe a lawyer, but Sam definitely needs to leave. Opie replies, That's exactly what I was thinking. I have this strange feeling that it wasn't the first time they've gotten together since she started staying here, but I'll probably never know the truth. Good idea. I'll definitely do that as soon as possible, just in case. Thank you. You're grieving yourself, and you still found space in your heart to welcome Sam into your home so she wouldn't be alone. What they did was take advantage and was very selfish. I hope you find your way through this troubling time, and I hope whatever update you bring is a good one. Love and light, hun. That would be hard no for me. I understand grieving, but how is this excusing cheating? What happens next time he's sad? Edit, I misspoke when I said sad. Obviously this is something beyond devastating. I still don't think it can be used as an excuse. Opie replies, I don't want to excuse his cheating. I think I want to divorce him, but I'm anxious about doing it right after we lost Becca. Another comment says, probably together. Do you both own the home? If it's in your name, change the locks. Stay strong and don't listen to his excuses. I'm so sorry this happened to you during such a difficult time. Opie replies, exactly what I was thinking if I'm being honest, and yes, we both own it. When I told him to leave, he kept saying sorry, and then said that he would leave and respect me wanting him gone for a while. Are you seeing a therapist perhaps? You're dealing with a lot right now, it might be useful. Opie says, yes, I am in therapy. I've been with my therapist for other things for the last 3 years. She's been very helpful. I saw her yesterday and was able to figure some things out. Oh, that's good. Let's see what Opie does in the update. I decided that I'm filing for a divorce. I can't ever trust Derek again. It sucks because we had an amazing relationship, I thought. He's always been great, so this was a complete shock to me. Last night, Derek came over to talk. He confessed to a lot. Turns out it wasn't their first time having sex like most people thought. They'd been having sex since 3 months before Becca died. I'm completely shocked and heartbroken. Sam also reached out last night and thanked me for everything I've done for her and told me she was sorry. I didn't respond. I blocked her. I did so much for Sam and considered her a friend, so this hurts a lot, more than I can handle. This is all too much. As hard as this is going to be, I need to leave Derek and cut them both out of my life. I am ready to do so. I am done. Also, some people are saying I deserved this because I should have known better than to let Sam into our home around Derek, but you need to understand that I'm a giving person. I trust people more than I should. I truly thought Sam was an amazing person. I know it's unusual to become friends with your husband's ex-wife, but it's just how it went for us, and I shouldn't be blamed for what happened. Thank you to everyone who commented nice things and for the kind messages. You've all been helpful during this insanely difficult time. I appreciate it. One comment says, out of curiosity, what are his excuses for cheating? Those two are going to be in a world of hurt once the guilt settles in. They're going to be asking themselves why it had to be Becca, and will eventually come to the conclusion that it's their punishment for what they've done to you. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Opie replies, he told me that they just accidentally reconnected one night when I was away at my mum's. He was stressed we weren't conceiving and were having miscarriages, so he vented to Sam, and then somehow that led to sex. It seems so icky to me. How can he vent about our struggles like that, and then go and have sex with Sam? It's just awful of him. I don't understand it. Yeah, I mean, if there was any doubt that Derek and Sam were scumbags before this update, I think the fact that they were sleeping together before Becca died really seals the deal on this one. Let's go to another update. I'm getting lots of questions about some things, so I figured I'd answer a few of them. Have I told anyone about what happened besides my mum? Yes, I told a few friends and some family members. Most of them are supportive of my decision and aren't speaking to Derek. Where is Derek staying? Currently, he's staying at a hotel. Our friends refuse to let him stay with them. He's lost a lot of people due to his awful decisions. Has he tried fighting me on getting a divorce? Yes, he begged me not to file for divorce, but when I told him I needed him to just let me go and that I was too exhausted to fight him on this, he let it be and agreed to getting a divorce. Why isn't Derek staying with Sam? He told me he didn't want to continue to hurt me, so he told Sam he was done with her for good and that they have no reason to speak to each other anymore. I have no idea if that'll last and if they'll just end up together, but I truly don't care what they do anymore. I just want peace. What was Derek's excuse for cheating? Well, he told me that they just accidentally reconnected one night when I was away at my mum's. He was stressed we weren't conceiving and were having miscarriages, so he vented to Sam and then somehow that led to sex. Disgusting of them both, I know. Feel free to ask anything else. I'll try to answer. Thank you everyone for your support and advice. Opie answers some more questions. On what happened to Becca. It was very sudden. She died in a car accident when she was with one of her friends and her friend's parents. Opie on her husband's parents being supportive or not, and if they know about his cheating. I get along with Derek's mum very well, but he's also a mama's boy, so it's kind of complicated. She'll always be there for him. He'd stay with her if she didn't live across the country. She knows what he did and told me she had a talk with him, but said that he's still her son and she'd help him with anything if he needed it. I'm thinking I need to cut her out of my life too, which makes me really sad because we were close and talked on the phone almost daily. And Opie on if she has children with her husband. We've had 6 miscarriages total. All of them were in the first trimester. Geez, that just makes it all the more heartbreaking, doesn't it? More updates. I just found out that he is staying with Sam and not at the hotel. He told me it's too expensive to stay at a hotel, and Sam is the only one that'll help him right now. I had a feeling this would happen. Just knowing that they're still probably sleeping together hurts my heart. I talked to a lawyer this morning, and we're proceeding with the divorce, and Derek agreed to it. It's actually happening, and I feel some relief that he's not fighting me on this. My mum leaves on Sunday. I'm scared to be alone, but I go back to work on Monday, so I'm hoping it'll be a good distraction. I'll keep updating if anything else happens. Thank you everyone, I'm so grateful for you all. One comment says, Opie, how did you find out he was staying at his ex-wife's place? Anything he says should be taken with a grain of salt. He is not true to his words in going no contact with Sam. Opie says, he texted me this morning after we talked to lawyers and said he just wants to be honest with me. I told him to stop giving me updates on what he's doing in his life and that it's not something I need to know. It seems like he wanted to tell me to hurt me. Someone asks Opie how she's doing. Thank you, I'm doing a little better today. My mum and I went on some nature walks and went out into the garden this afternoon. That helped. Becca loved gardening with me, so it made me feel closer to her. Another update. I decided to go through some of Becca's stuff today. I just found her diary in a box in the back of her closet. Would it be wrong to read some of it? I feel like it would help me feel closer to her, but part of me feels like it's wrong too. I haven't told Derek that I found it either, and I'm unsure if I should tell him. What would you do? And Opie answers a comment on if she was closer with Becca prior to her sudden passing. Becca and I were very close. It felt like she told me anything and everything, but I honestly think all parents feel that way about their kids, so I'm kinda nervous to read it. Yeah, that's a bit tricky. I feel like regardless of what they've done, it's kinda disrespectful to deny the parents of something like that, but also it's hard to feel like they deserve it right now. What would you guys do? I feel like curiosity would definitely get the better of me, but I don't know, that's just me. Okay, another update. I figured it's been a few days, so I should give a little update. My mum is leaving in a couple hours, so I'll be alone. I'm kinda nervous about it. She helped me stay distracted and kept me going. I don't know how I'm gonna handle her being gone. I go back to work tomorrow, first day back since Becca passed away. I'm looking forward to it though because it'll keep me distracted. Also, I did read some of Becca's diary. It made me love her even more. She was such a sweetheart. I went back a few months and saw that she noticed some weird behaviour between Derek and Sam. Didn't mention that she knew of the affair, but she just wrote that she thought it was kinda strange that they all three would hang out together more than usual, without me. I might read more, but so far I haven't found anything that's disturbing, just her being a teenager and talking about crushes, fights with friends, happy family memories, etc. Tomorrow I'm also talking to my lawyer, so I might have more updates on that. Thanks for the continuous love and support, everyone. Okay, straight to the next one. I started randomly getting a lot more messages and comments, so I figured I'd do another little last update. My first week back at work went great. I wasn't expecting it to go so well, but thankfully it did. My co-workers were so helpful and patient with me. On Friday night, I decided I didn't want to stay home all weekend alone, so I decided to drive up to my mum's. It helps I have a 3-day weekend so I can spend more time with her. I'm heading back home tomorrow. Also, for those of you that have messaged me hateful things for reading Becca's diary, I just have to say, you aren't in my shoes right now. Telling me I'm a bad mum because I'm reading her diary is just ridiculous. I learned so much more about her, about how caring and sweet she is, and it made me love her even more. It's how I'm able to feel so close to her right now. So please don't tell me I'm a bad parent for just trying to get by one of the hardest times of my life. You have no idea what it's like. I don't have much of an update, so this will be it. I'll come back and update once the divorce happens though. Thank you to those of you that have been nothing but kind and helpful. You helped me feel less alone. I'll forever be grateful. Okay, and the next update is titled, Sam saw my Reddit post and is threatening to sue me. Sam made a fake Facebook profile to message me and tell me she wants to sue me for telling strangers about what happened. Derek supports her apparently. I don't need this. Am I not allowed to vent about my life to people online? I just want to get better. I'm so tired. F you, Sam. F you, Derek. Edit, Sam is in the comments and messaged me on here too. I blocked her. Opie comments on the message. No, I just ignored her. It might be an empty threat just to make my life harder, but I'm unsure. Her message said, So, I was scrolling TikTok and ended up on an account where they read Reddit posts, and guess whose post they read? Yours. First you tell friends and family, and then you go to a bunch of strangers and tell them our life story? I can't believe you. It isn't just your business to tell. Becca would be so disappointed in you. Be prepared, because I think I'm going to be suing you for this. This was no one else's business. You did this to yourself. Remember that. I'm actually baffled. She thinks Becca would be disappointed in me. WTF? Wow, the plot really do be thickening. On to a new update. I've been as strong as I can be, but I've really been struggling. So much is going on, and I'm just so tired. How can I keep going? I just want to be with Becca. I miss her. I miss her smile. I miss her laugh. I miss how she'd try to make you laugh when you were sad by telling dad jokes. I miss how she liked being in the garden with me. I miss seeing all her new drawings. I miss her beautiful eyes. I miss everything about her. I just want her back. I need her back. Edit, I am okay. I just needed space to vent. I was getting so many messages asking if I'm alright, and I just wanted to say thank you to those that reached out. I am okay. I'll be okay. Some days are harder than others, but I think I'll get through this. I'm so grateful for the little community I have here. Thank you all so much. Moving on. Sam ended up taking her own life on June the 20th. I'm still trying to process everything. She had hurt me deeply, but this isn't something I wanted whatsoever. And Derek blames me. I feel so many things, and I'm going to be away for a while again, but I wanted to update you all. Thanks for the love, everyone. And Opie comments on how she's doing. I hope they're together again, and I hope they're both at peace too. That's all I hope for. Thank you. Oh my god, I did not expect that. And yeah, like Opie said, in this situation, regardless of what they've done, you don't wish that on anyone. Okay, now for the last update so far. Well, I'm doing it. I'm taking the advice that so many of you had. I'm going on a trip since my job doesn't need me till the middle of August. I was so lucky I had my mum come stay with me a lot, and had my best friend come stay with me when my mum couldn't, but I felt like I was asking too much of them, so I decided that maybe travelling might actually be a good idea. In a week, I'm going to Norway. Becca and I always wanted to go there one day, and it was on our bucket list. I'm actually excited. I'm also thinking of getting a pet when I come back, but might wait till I move. Thank you to those that recommended I do this. Becca would be happy I'm doing this. She'd be so frickin' thrilled for me. You probably won't hear from me for a while. I'm taking a long break from Reddit and all my social media. I think it's best for me. But just know, I love and appreciate all of you that have been there for me. I would have been so lost without some of you. Yours truly, Alyssa. Okay guys, and that wraps that one up. Yeah, it kinda ended on a bittersweet note there, but without a doubt, a pretty painful experience to go through. I mean, losing what is essentially your daughter and then having your long-term husband cheat on you all within a month is pretty life-changing. I hope Opie's doing better. Anyway, what are your thoughts about that one? Let me know in the comments. Alrighty, well let's move on to another story. Okay, we're over on True Off My Chest. This one was written by user Sesame Poppy Seed Salt, and it's titled, They hired someone new instead of promoting me, and now I have no motivation to work. Hi everyone, it's been a few months now since this happened, but I can't get past this, and I guess I just want to get this off my chest in hopes that it'll help me get over it. Here we go. I've been working at the same company for over 6 years. The company is medium-sized, I would say, and at the time I was hired, we didn't have a marketing department. With time, the company grew, and after 1 year of working there, they offered I be the one to kickstart the marketing department. I accepted. For 2 years, I was the only person in the marketing department. I did everything all by myself. I knew how everything worked. I kept my numbers and quality high, that my manager even asked my boss to give me a bonus for my hard work. As the company grew, the work became too much for just one person, so they gave me a team. We were now 4 in total. I trained and pretty much led the team, but the thing is, my title never went past marketing agent. I thought that with all the things I'm doing, I'd at least get marketing manager by now. I expressed this to my manager, who said that they'll see what can be done. Months pass. My title remains the same, but then in a meeting with my manager one day, they told me that our boss is thinking that there should be a marketing team lead on the team. They said that they think it's going to be me, as I started off the department, trained everyone, have the most knowledge, and have been in the company for 6 years now. Obviously, I got excited hearing that, and I patiently waited for my boss to finally drop the news to me. The news ended up being that they were looking for a marketing team lead. and they decided to hire externally. I can't even put into words the way I felt. Even now, it still feels like I've been punched in the gut. It feels so unfair and humiliating. I was the first person in the marketing department. I have the most experience. Why would you hire someone with zero experience instead? I asked my manager why I wasn't considered for it, and their response was basically just, "The boss just couldn't see you being a team lead." Hearing that seriously killed my self-esteem. It made me feel even more humiliated. They eventually hired the person to take on the team lead role, and what made me want to slam my head against the wall is that they made me train them on everything I knew. Listen, the new team lead is a nice person, and I really don't want to hate them because it's not their fault, but my bitterness is so strong. I just don't even want to interact with them unless they or I need help. So now I'm stuck being marketing agent forever, I guess. But what really drove me to write this on Reddit is the new team member. One person on the team left and was replaced with someone else who just started last month. The team lead is on vacation, so I was the one asked to train the new hire. As I was training them, we talked and I told them a little about myself, about how I started the department and everything, and then they said, "So, all that just to not be team lead?" And that honestly just ticked me off. I don't know if it's their wording, their tone, or the look of pity on their face that got to me, but I just shut down. I laughed it off, finished up with training, and just barely worked the whole day, and the day after that. Even now, I feel like my numbers are lower than usual. My quality definitely dropped, but I just can't care anymore. I know I could just quit, but this company's benefits are amazing, and I've made so many friends here that would make leaving so hard. Traveling for work every few months allowed me to see different cities and take in new experiences, but I just can't get past this, and I don't know if I ever will. I might just go through the days until I really just can't do it anymore. If you've read up until this point, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I really hope this situation never happens to you. Yeah, wow, I got mad for OP just reading that. Know your worth, I guess. Let's go to the comments. I mean, you have a plethora of experience that could potentially get you a better paid job that respects you. Right now, your job is just using you for your skills without paying you appropriately for those skills, hence why they didn't promote. I'd build a resume and put on there everything you've done for the company and start looking elsewhere. I get there are good benefits and friends, but right now it sounds like they're on a path that is potentially going to screw you and potentially the business itself up. And if and when you do quit, just be honest. Say, why am I working the tasks of a team lead, training the team lead, covering for them, but without the title or wages? It's not that the boss doesn't see you as a team lead, he just doesn't want to pay you for the skills you have. Start sending resumes. Employees should stop thinking a company really cares if they owe them anything or not. Think of yourself. I'd be well into looking for a new job. The moment they did not change my title after like 6 months of actually effing running a team, don't see you as a team lead, who the hell was leading the team then? It's clear they prefer to squeeze all they can from you whilst not recognizing your efforts and results. My biggest regret is wasting over 10 years on a company that I thought would promote me but never did. I had a manager literally tell me that I was too effective in my current role, so that's why I kept getting passed over for promotions. I applied to jobs for a few months, and last year I got a new job with a higher title and better pay. It wasn't an overnight process, but it was so worth it. I wish I'd done it sooner. Your company has no loyalty to you. They don't deserve your loyalty in return. OP makes an edit. Hi again everyone. I just want to thank you all for your advice. You've all been very helpful and you've all given me the confidence to send my resume to other companies for a team lead or manager position. I'll be sending my resume to more as they pop up. The market is terrible right now, but I am pretty confident. Now I just have to act like normal in this current position until I hear from one of them. Wish me luck. For those wondering how I trained the new team lead, I did not teach them everything I knew. Hell no. I taught them enough to do their job, but when it comes to the deeper knowledge, I held back. I personally just thought it was the smartest decision for me, as teaching them all I knew wouldn't have benefited me at all. It's up to my company to teach them everything else, and not keep relying on me. When I was asked to train the new hire, I did mention that I shouldn't train them if we have a team lead, but boss hit back saying that I would be responsible if the team fell behind if we waited until the team lead got back from vacation. I didn't want to cause stress for the rest of the team and myself, so I stupidly complied. I did consider threatening to leave if I didn't get the team lead role, but I held back because I was afraid of the response, lol. I was afraid they would have just let me go, and I'd be left unemployed without a backup job, especially considering the job market right now. But I guess my pride also played a part in it. I really wanted to be given the team lead role because they believed in me and wanted to give it to me, not because I threatened them. I also do quite like my job, so I thought I could suck it up, but it's really not worth the mental suffering. Huge thanks again for reading my ramblings. Have a great one, guys. Yeah, fingers crossed someone else picks him up. Let's go to an update 3 months later. So, I got a job as marketing team lead. Just finished week 3. The market is rough right now, but I'm glad I didn't give up and just kept applying. My new job's a little challenging, but my mental health is in a better place now, knowing I could finally, fully let go of that grudge. If you're in a similar situation, don't lose hope. When I gave in my notice, I would pay just to see the look on my boss's face again when I told them I was leaving for a marketing team lead job. They tried to salary match, but I declined. They asked what they could do to keep me, but I kept it polite and just said that it was time for me to experience more in a different role now. I could tell they were really ticked, but I couldn't care less, lol. And then apparently they talked smack about me to the manager, that I was betraying them and all that BS. It's so embarrassing. Of course, before I left, I asked my manager what I needed to improve on to be a better team lead so I can do even better in my new role. I was told things like be a little more strict, have more confidence, and other things I made sure to write down to work on. And I know it's been months, but I still wanted to ask again why I was passed up the promotion at this company. So apparently it's because they made it so that the team lead did more admin work, more team reports, team evaluations, team decisions, and coming up with new procedures and less marketing. Apparently, since I'm the most senior with consistent results, they didn't want to lose that by making me team lead, so they figured keeping me as a marketing agent was the smartest move for the company. I fully understand their decision, but screw that. I feel like I'm actually doing what a team lead should be doing in my new company, and that's all I really wanted. It just feels like they're still trying to figure out what a team lead should do, and I'm not willing to stick around for that again. Thank you again everyone for encouraging me to look for another job. I got way too comfortable in my last job that I allowed them to walk all over me. You aren't handcuffed to a certain company forever. It's okay to leave when you feel like there's no more growth for you. Have a great one, everyone. Wow, and that's the end of that one. I mean, those guys talking smack about him after he left need to understand that loyalty is a two-way street. I'm glad Opie called them out and got out of there. What do you guys think? Would you have done the same? Anyway, let's move on. Okay, same subreddit. This one was written by user TopNo, account now deleted, and it's titled, "My boyfriend comes home injured every day and he won't tell me why. I, 26 female, live with my boyfriend, 23, and he's the love of my life. He's always been honest with me about everything, but recently I feel like he's hiding something bad from me, because for 2 months, every time he returns home after work, he's bruised and injured. Not like a small injury, but really visible injuries like bruises, cuts on his abdomen, legs, bad injuries. The worst injury he had was 13 days ago. He came home at midnight and I was still awake doing some work, and his whole hair and face was messed up. He has a middle part, and it was like some of it was cut off, and he had bad swelling in his cheekbone area. He also had a black eye. When I saw him, I was trying to ask him what the F happened to him, and he just told me he didn't want to talk about it. I've tried to do anything to just get some information from him, but he refuses to give me any. He keeps telling me not to worry about it. I've told him I'd also go to the police to report what's happening to him, but he's pleaded with me every time to not, or else he'd break up with me. I'm so freaking worried for him, and I feel like I can't do anything. He hasn't done anything to deserve any of this, and I've been trying to come up with anything, but I can't. He truly is a person who lives a simple life. The only reason I've come up with is that my boyfriend is one of the few minorities in a very conservative city, but even then he has friends and connections, etc. One comment says, "I bet he owes someone money." Opie replies, "I really doubt that. He's never been the type of person to do something like that, and as far as I know, he isn't in any type of serious debt." Another comment says, "Lamau, then how the hell is he getting so injured? Is he part of a fight club? What does he do for work?" Opie says, "Pediatric nursing." It sounds like he's an immigrant since you say his mum still lives in Vietnam. If he immigrated to the US illegally, it would explain why he doesn't want to go to the police and how he might owe money to bad people despite being a hard-working person who is not involved in any shady stuff. This is sheer speculation, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't know what to do about it, but maybe an immigration lawyer would help. Opie replies, he was born in the US. His mum just moved back to Vietnam with the rest of his family to take care of them. He told me he lived with his grandfather, but he sadly passed away 2 years ago. And if you're close to his mum or brother and sister, tell them. Maybe they'll help you out. To me it seems like he's gotten himself into bad business, and he's too ashamed to tell you about it. Opie says he's an only child. His mum is also really hard to communicate with. I don't blame her, but she lives in Vietnam still, and she speaks basically no English. Going off of that, I'm not sure if she even knows what's going on in my boyfriend's life living so far away. Another comment says, lovingly, you've pushed back on every single possible reason people have commented. What do you think is happening? He's just running into doorknobs left and right? Babe, get real. Something bad is happening and this is not normal. He obviously isn't the person you thought you knew, because the person you're in love with wouldn't come home mangled, right? I can tell you this never happened to me in my relationship. What does he do for work? So something bad is going on. He won't tell you what it is. How do you see this relationship moving forward? What if the injuries stop one day and he never tells you the story behind them? Do you think you could trust him after that? If he won't share a problem this big, then what's the next problem he won't share? Do you want to raise kids with this man? Will you be comfortable with him modeling this behavior for your future kids? Do you want your kids thinking not telling you bad things that happen to them is the correct response? I know you don't want to accept it, but you are staring down the barrel of the end of your relationship. The honest truth is that unless he comes clean pretty soon, this incident is going to eat every ounce of trust you have in him. It won't be today or tomorrow, or maybe even a year from now, but 2 years, 5 years, tens of years, this will lead you to always question if he's telling the truth, if he's keeping things from you. No relationship can survive that. If you want your relationship to survive this, you need to make sure he knows this could be the end. Sit him down and tell him that you can't be in a relationship with someone who comes home beaten up every night without at least an explanation. If he's in physical danger, there's every chance you are as well, and he can't even grant you the decency of a heads up. He's being selfish. Incidentally, if you go to the police with this and I'll break up with you is a hella manipulative statement, and one he is getting away with because he is under the impression that there's nothing he can do that will make you leave him. If you want to have a truly loving and lasting relationship, you need to be willing to walk away when your partner doesn't fulfill your needs. If you aren't willing to walk, then he needs to know he doesn't have a limit on what he can subject you to. If he'd actually dump you for going to the police because you're worried about him, then he doesn't love you. If you truly love him, you should be willing to leave him, because no one who loves you back would do this to you. Just because he's gotten you through dark times doesn't make you indebted to him. Should it make you want to see him through dark times? Absolutely. But the key thing is that you can't help someone who is unwilling to accept help. You can't save a drowning man if he won't let you. He'll just drown you with him. The best thing you can do is tell him you can't continue a relationship if he can't be honest with you. You cannot have love without honesty. If he doesn't tell you what's happening, then you tell him you'd be willing to get back together only when he's ready to be honest. Then you go stay with a friend for a while. This is harsh, and I'm sorry for that, but you can't fix him. This has to start with him. If he won't make the first step by at least telling you the truth, then you can't do anything. Whew, enough said. On to an update. I asked my boyfriend yesterday about what was really going on, and I threatened to rope in my family, the police, and break up with him. I told him he was jeopardizing my own safety, and he had to tell me. After a lot of stalling, he eventually told me what it was. He's in a fight club. I guess the jokes were right, he's actually in a fight club like the movie. However, it's more complicated than he's just bored. He told me his family in Vietnam, specifically his mum, are pressuring him a lot to give them more and more money. They have told him that if he doesn't give them enough, they'll cut contact with him, and even though we both have pretty good jobs, he was struggling to reach their demands and he didn't want to ask me for money. He heard about the fight club from his friends, and at first he thought it wasn't any good, but he told me he was getting really stressed from his family situation and getting hit would relieve some of it, and once he heard money was on the line, he decided to join it. That's the reason he refused to say anything about it, because like the movie, he followed the first rule of Fight Club. That's also why he comes home sad. He's only using the Fight Club as a way to cope and earn some money on the side. That's also somewhat the reason he would plead me to not contact the police whenever I told him I would. Even though the actual Fight Club itself isn't illegal, a lot of illegal activities like drugs were being done in and of itself. I've talked to him about helping him with some money or therapy, but he told me he wants to deal with his issues himself. He told me he doesn't want me to stress myself out just to help him. For now, I'll stay off, but I told him I'll be helping myself by helping him if he's in a bad situation. It goes without saying this is not a very healthy way of coping. Let's read some final comments. Unless you're fine staying in a relationship with someone who is very likely to suffer from many concussions going forward, I recommend telling him to either cut off his family and stop fighting or leave him. CTE is no joke, and I'm fairly certain these underground fights don't have paramedics on standby in case of an injury. He's going down a path that he'll be lucky to walk away from with massive lasting physical and mental damage, if he's lucky enough to walk away at all. Opie replies, "The worst thing is my boyfriend doesn't have any type of MMA background. He doesn't really know what he's doing." I know your boyfriend wants to do this for his family in the name of tradition, but he shouldn't do it at the expense of his safety. To defy the laws of tradition is a crusade only of the brave. Opie says, "I told him that too, and he said he'd try, but it's going to be a while, because he showed me just some of the payments he's giving to his family, and holy frick, the amount he's giving could actually pay some of our bills." No red flags here. Nope. We all cope by going down to an underground fight club when working in healthcare. Totally valid. A little US money goes a long-ass way in Vietnam. My parents give $500 US among about 6 families, I think, and supposedly it's enough for food and more. It won't buy luxuries, but it'd certainly pay for food and basic needs. Bet the mum is just greedy. When I went to Vietnam, my dad had already given thousands to an uncle, and the same uncle tried to hit me up for more. Every family has at least one of the moocher types, or at one point did. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It wouldn't take much to keep someone going over in Vietnam. Not sure how anyone would feel the need to resorting to underground fights, but hey, that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Alrighty, let's move on to another one. Okay, a little bit of petty revenge. This one was written by user Necessary Equal, and it's titled, "I let him cheat so I can watch him fail." This was years ago, but it still brings a smile to my face at times. Back in school, a handful of students, including myself, missed a major test due to extracurriculars. The teacher already arranged for us to take the test in a back room during regular class session. There was a guy, let's call him Eric, who was the typical F-boy who behaved like he was all that and a bag of chips, rude, obnoxious, and didn't once talk to me. Until that hour in the testing room. Back in school, I was mostly quiet. If resting B-face was a thing back then, I would have been the poster child for it. I was known to be a bit nerdy, so it wasn't a surprise when he sat right next to me, chatting it up. He went on to tell me how I looked like I could be a Victoria's Secret model, and I was one of the prettiest girls in school, and blah blah blah. He then asked if he could copy my answers. I smiled and said, "Sure, give me a few minutes and I'll show you my answer sheet." He grinned and twirled around in his seat, fidgeting with his pencil, making absolutely no effort in taking the test. I look up and whisper, "Done. Hurry up and copy." With no hesitation, he hurriedly copies my work. I told him to walk away first, so it wouldn't be suspicious. He did, and as he was leaving, he did a weird salute and laughed at the other students still taking the exam. As soon as that door shut, I erased the answers I gave him and filled in the correct answers. I turned my work in shortly after. The teacher said she would take a week to grade them. During that week, Eric didn't say hi to me at all. When he did look in my direction, he would elbow to his friend to laugh at me. I couldn't wait until he got his results. The day finally came. The teacher handed us back our graded tests, and the way he stood up shocked, shouting, "An F?" and ran over to me to see my A+ grade was chef's kiss. He definitely stopped laughing at me after that. Wow, that revenge deserves an A+. Let's read some comments. Former teacher here. I'd given a multiple choice test, not my decision, and the class whiz kid and the class dodo both had the top scores, and had missed the same handful of questions, and had made the same incorrect choices on those, and they happened to sit next to each other. I celebrated the crap out of both of them, praised their effort, etc., but everybody knew what was happening. I actually encourage my students to do that. We had one prolific cheater one year that was so bad that I had to level up. I told the class with the cheater in the room that if they thought somebody was copying, to write the most ridiculous wrong answer and let them copy. She actually wrote purple dinosaur in response to a math question, and her fate was sealed. In the end, with help from the above evidence, we got her the academic help she needed, but was consistently denied. Okie dokie folks, and we're going to leave that one there. Let me know your thoughts down below. Alright, well that's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed those stories. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Cheers.